Yeah.
Absolutely. Which leads to, the other thing we want to talk about, what I was going to ask you guys is, do you think Chris Noth tweeted earlier in this whole escalating issue, Chris Noth, the actor, that he did not think that this would have even happened, the shutdown would have even happened if Obama was white. And
I believe that.
Yeah, and that's the
Well,
question.
they should have had a
would this
half shutdown because he's half white.
Right.
I always get incensed about that when it's just like with Ronnie too. He's black. He's half black, but because the skin is because.
What do you identify as? Do you identify as black or do you identify as white?
I identify as Bahamian, which is where I was born, and no, I'm not telling you this is for a specific question. No, you're asking me honestly how I identify.
Okay.
In my head, I don't identify racially.
Mm-hmm.
No one in my country does. No, I'm talking about internally. When I write down on a piece of paper in this country, black. Because people see me and I'm black. It doesn't matter what my background is.
Okay,
if I am anything other than white, I am black.
Right,
Okay.
And there's no choice to be half and half.
Oh, yeah,
That's why you have to choose.
But if you're half and half, why wouldn't you choose Caucasian?
Because he appears black.
Because that's not how I am. That's not how I am treated. It's not how I am perceived. It's not how I am booked on jobs. Right.
And
if I wrote down on my actor website white, and I showed up at an audition, I think they would be disappointed.
Right, and isn't the reason why you're perceived as black is because of your skin hue?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the same reason why Obama is perceived as black is because of the skin hue.
As you said last week, darling, I think he's more cafe latte.
No, last week I said Negro.
I know, but he's cafe latte. You're Negro.
Okay, yeah.
Right?
Well, I feel fortunate in that regard. To grow up growing up in a country where the majority of people are black or are people of color.
Mm-hmm.
Your first identity is not racial.
Correct.
Your first identity is actually economic.
Mm-hmm. Right. Where do you live?
Yeah, I'm upper middle class. I'm middle class. I'm
do you
poor,
drive a
whatever
Hummer?
it is. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Or do you give them?
That's just nasty.
Yeah.
Okay.
But and that's different. It's different than growing up in this country where if you're a person of color, you are a minority, and you're reminded of it daily and in every single way.
Oh God, we have to do a sketch then, because we have to do a sketch going back to when the drinking fountains were segregated to black and white, and then Ronnie walks up and it's like, which one do you go to? Or like as you're sitting in the front of the bus and they say go to the back of the bus, and it's like, but no.
But see, that begs your question. It's identity. The racial identity that's projected is based solely on color.
Mm-hmm.
There's no choice about it.
Exactly.
So you can write down mixed, or sometimes they'll have mixed.
Oh, they do as a choice.
Very, very rarely they'll have that. But
other.
But the truth is in this country that's what you are. In this country, if you're black, you're black. If you have one lick of the tar brush, you are black. Doesn't matter. That's how you are perceived. That's how you're relegated. That's how you're categorized.
Tar brush, Ronnie.
Yeah.
Really? And I was scolded for Negro. Growing up.
But it's interesting how these things are entrenched in our brains.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, when I was growing up, it was horrible. The white people would say, well, you know why black people's hand palms
are white
and the soles of their feet are white?
Oh, yeah, I know this joke.
Because they were up against the wall when they got spray painted. Okay.
See, wow. The joke I always heard was, how do black people lay on the beach? So.
Radio V. Radio in TV. Radio in TV.